a 300% move here on STAF today. Breaking down this move, taking a look at the chart, the fundamentals, seeing what is going on with this stock. Why is it up so much? And what things can we see by looking at the chart that we can apply to future stocks that might have similar setups? So going to break down some of the key things I think we should be looking for when looking for stocks that have a possibility of moving real big, like STAF today. STAF, it's up 224% right now. At one point, it was up there above $5.60, going from 180 or a little bit lower, 140 this morning. So we're gonna break it down in this video. So let's do it. Let's go. All right. So the first thing I think we should look at is kind of what's the news, what is going on with this stock today, kind of the float and the overall just idea of the stock. So recently, the stock had a reverse split. So that's one good thing. A reverse split is basically going to reduce the amount of total shares that are out there on the market. So if there's 10 million shares out there and they do a 2-to-1 reverse split, for example, it would basically only be 5 million shares. So that's going to make the shares more scarce, if that makes sense. So there's less shares on the market, and that means that there's more volatility when buying action comes in. When the volume comes in and there's less shares to be sold, you get the idea. Supply and demand, baby. Supply and demand. Remember, the market is basically determined by supply and demand. Now, also, you can see here, I pulled it up on Yahoo Finance. Easy and simple. You don't need anything super fancy. You can see right here how many shares. Float is at 2.6. So that means that there's a very small float, and that's why we got the move that we got today. Overall, looking here, the news today went out 11 hours ago. This is basically what spiked the stock. Staffing 360 Solutions enters RPO market with the acquisition of Clement May in the UK. So basically, this news is pumping the stock price up, that the company is now going to make another $50 million annually. So obviously people are getting excited. It hits all the scanners. Everybody out there is talking about it. They're jumping in. They're trying to get that action and looking for that move. Now, you can see here on the 5-minute chart, what's interesting. I always like to kind of look back at these charts and see kind of what went down, overall with the chart, with the stock. Did it move? How did it move? Where did it move? So you can see this morning pre-market, it moved up here to the $3 area. And that news came out this morning. The news came out this morning. So basically, once that news came out, that's what this little spike is here. You got this spike. It pulls back down here, pulls back down to the $2 area, and then it opened. That's when we start to get the move. Let's look at this more so of like where people might be buying, where they might be shorting, and things like that, and kind of what led to this move. Now, you can see kind of got that U, almost like a perfect cup and handle. Look at that. Really, it's a cup and handle right there. You got the cup and you got the handle. So everybody out there who's a technical analysis pattern trader would have seen, okay, there's the cup, there's the handle, and what do we get? We got the breakout above that pre-market high, above that $3 hole, above that whole $3 area, and then it was off to the races. Now, kind of what I'm thinking is what's going to happen here. Okay, we got this denial here. So if I'm a short, where am I going to be shorting at? Okay, I'm going to be shorting here at the $3 area, thinking that was previous resistance pre-market, right? So I'm thinking, okay, $3 area, that's going to be where I want to short at. And you can see that's kind of what happened here. So people were buying here at open. You got a spike in volume. You got 600,000 shares traded there. It spikes up. Shorts were sitting there thinking, hey, if I can hold this down below this $3 area, it's going to just crash and it's going to be game over. And that's almost what happened here. You can see it got kind of extended here. This is the 5-minute chart, so it's going to be a little easier to read here. Up there to the $3 area, the shorts are piling in. Boom, boom, boom. Look at the wicks on the tops of those candles. That means there's selling pressure there. People are selling there. And then we get this sell-off, pulls down here. You're going to have more shorts piling in once this breaks down as well. It broke through the VWAP. The shorts are piling in. Shorts are right here. And then what do we get? Okay, now we get this kind of turn back up to complete the handle. And again, shorts are going to be trying to keep this down because they're going to be jumping in here with the idea that the $3 area is going to be their stop loss area. So if I'm shorting here at the 280, 260, I'm definitely getting out if this breaks over $3 because I know if it breaks over $3, it's probably going to run and there's going to be a chance that this thing could spike on me and I'm going to get squeezed. And that's kind of what happened here. Now, it's actually interesting to see this thing spiked at 315 there. And on this next candle, you can see the shorts kind of piled in there again and try to hold it down. A little bit of a battle, almost a doji there. We got the move there, and it's okay. Now we're getting stuck again at 350 area, and then really boom right here 1035. You can see again, it's interesting always to see how these kind of act, how these massive moves happen. So you had the cup and handle here, and this is kind of like the first move once the market opens. You got the first move here, and then this is really the second kind of move here, the second leg, I would say, from here, to this area, or almost like this area here, but say this area. So this is basically, I can't even really make it. So we'll just say kind of like right there is, obviously there's a channel right here on this. This is the first leg. You get the second leg here, and then you got the third leg. Now we're looking also at the volume. So that first big spike, so the first spike there at open, the volume, 600,000 shares. What's happening here is people are finally finding out about it. Everybody who bought here has really good scanners. Everybody who's buying here, everyone who's chasing it are people on StockTwits, people online who are just finding out about it. People that, have an idea. And then what's happening right here? Okay, it breaks over $3. More people hear about it. It's hitting more scanners. The word is getting out and everybody's buying. We're squeezing the shorts. You had the shorts that might have been underwater here at $3 who are also kind of loading up here at 350. Thinking they can hold this down there, and then once that got above that 350 area, it was game over for the shorts because it's off to the races. Again, breaking over that $4 area, whole dollar there at the $4, and boom, boom, and it's off. So what's interesting, I always like to see kind of how these stocks react to those whole dollar breaks. So you can see this broke over $3 here, got up here to 355. On this candle, it pulled down there to 296, so it was turning that $3 area, which was previous resistance, into support. And that's always a very bullish sign. If we get a spike above that resistance, it pulls back, it bounces off that area, then we're thinking, okay, that previous resistance that was holding it down, that top there, it held it down. Well, now that area is support. So buyers are sitting there trying to hold the stock up. And you get that support bounce off that previous resistance. What happens again here at the $4 area? We break over that whole dollar. That whole dollar is always going to be resistance. People are scared to buy right at that whole dollar area. That $3.99, $3.98, that area right there, people are thinking, hey, I'm taking profit because this is probably going to break above there and it's going to pull back, and people are going to be trading like that. They're always just thinking mentally that whole dollar area is going to be resistance. So we get a spike up there. 480 on that one. So it's 442, pulling back, turning that $4 area into support. It got really extended here. It pulls back down to the EMAs, starts to consolidate, and then we got this move. They'll say that the first move like this is going to be, the smallest move. The second move is normally, up and kind of retracing a little bit, which kind of got that 480, got that retrace down there to the 380, 390 area. So it's kind of a nice retrace there, turning that $4 area into support, consolidating. Look at the volume also here. Check out the volume, how it's ramping down. All right, so we're consolidating. The volume is going down, but you can see it's not selling off. It's not crashing. And as that's consolidating there, what's also happening? So this is now turning 420 area into support, and then we're bouncing right there. And you can see, again, we break out the volume. Look how small the volume got right there. On this candle right here, on this candle, only 42,000 shares traded. This candle, 59,000 traded, 59,000 shares traded, and then boom, 400,000 shares traded. So again, once that broke out, it all just kind of ended up right there in that perfect storm. And you get the shorts again. You have the shorts that are sitting here trying to pile in there. You got the buyers who are buying here at the 420 area. Once this turned that $4 area into support, got that move up there to the 540s. And people always ask me, like, why don't these stocks just keep going higher? Okay, we got this move here, got the move here, you got the flag here, you got a flag here. Why didn't this just keep moving higher? Why did it just keep going higher and higher? But look what happens. Look what time it is. 12 o'clock, right? 12 o'clock. And what's happening here? We're kind of just slowing off. The volume's dying. And what's interesting is I saw on StockTwits, I saw on Instagram, a couple traders, a couple of the bigger traders out there, they talked about what their entries were. They talked about what their exits were. Most of the best traders, the good traders, are buying here in this consolidation, or they're buying here in this consolidation, and then they're selling. Now, if I'm buying here, I'm a trader, I'm getting another 240, I'm taking profit into this move to the $4 area, and I'm taking profit into this move above $5. So after that, I'm probably going to be done for the day because I've already made my money. I don't need it. I've already made my money. I don't need to keep pushing my luck. And that's what happens a lot of times is you're going to get these moves. That first move, the second move, and the third move is always going to be iffy. you might get the spike. You might get a spike. I mean, from 430 up there to 546 wasn't a bad move, but definitely the second move here, this consolidation area, this cup right here, and then consolidation there at the $3 area, we got a much nicer move up there to 487. Really strong, actually, because this is green, 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 boom, above $4, consolidating, and then all the way up here to 540. So if you were lucky enough to buy the dip here, buy this consolidation, and then ride through this bull flag, and then take profit up there above $5, you're not complaining. You're not complaining at all. So what's going to happen here with STAF now? Well, I'm sitting here watching here. I got the VWAP. We're basically trading lower. You can see how this is just kind of breaking down. I got the kind of double top there. It wanted to go again, but I think what happens is you should have not enough volume. You can see the volume's just not there. And what's interesting is look how, so you can see kind of how the volume is increasing through this move. And on this one, on this move trying to break higher here, the volume increases, but then it's decreasing really quickly there. And you can see the volume staying high. So you're getting 500,000 shares on that sell-off, 500,000 on that sell-off, and then 335,000 shares on that red candle. So there, it's not that much volume on the way up trying to push up into there, but it's much more volume on the way down. So at that point, it's normally like, hey, the stock is probably not going to go higher at this point because the volume's just not there. It's just not trapping enough shorts to get this thing to really move. So all the shorts, they see that, they know, okay, game over. All these guys that were pumping the stock, all the chat rooms, all the gurus, everybody out there is probably done trading now. So now we got this double top area at the 550. It's time to short, and you get that pullback. Now, that's not to say tomorrow morning this thing can't gap up again, because what's going to happen in the morning, if people start buying, the volume fills in there, and the action is on that stock. Shorts that maybe held it overnight are going to be thinking, hey, I got to get out in case this thing does squeeze, in case it doubles again, in case it goes up 200, 300%. One more time. We've seen it happen the last couple weeks, how we've had these stocks that have, had 200 or 300, 400% moves in one day. They kind of sell off at the end of the day, and in the morning, it's like, boom, they gap right up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see STAF above that 560 area tomorrow morning. So definitely keep this one on your watch list. It's never a bad thing to keep an eye on stocks that went up big the day before. Looking at the daily chart here, you can also see, where that previous resistance was, stuff like that. But really, this stock just had the action. It's got the low float, it's got the news, it's got people talking about it, and all the action was on this stock today. You got 20 million shares traded on this type of float, and it gives you an idea of how these stocks can move like they do. So there it is, STAF. Keep this stock on your watch list tomorrow morning. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Never know. You never know what these crazy stocks are going to do. Tomorrow morning, it could be at $8. Who knows? It also could be at $2. So definitely keep that in mind, as this thing is a coin flip at this point. It could go down, it could go up. I'm not saying I know which way it's going to go, but either way, we'll be looking to trade the action and keeping a close eye on this crazy stock tomorrow morning. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I did not trade today. I was out handling some business all day. Tomorrow, I'm back in the hot seat, and I'll see you guys then.